holding back linear programmatic video up until this point? I mean, why haven't we seen this before?
But different things. First, maybe to tell you, I worked before that for RTL for 2 years. I worked for SBS, ProSieben. Was already also for 4 years country manager for Google in Belgium. And actually there I saw already the initiatives of Google in 2007 around Google TV, and where you could actually buy TV linear in the US through your AdWords account. So they did a test for a year approximately. And it was not actually programmatic or real time or automated. You just say which channel you wanted. You mentioned your price, and your ad was served into the linear television. Through your AdWords account, that was quite impressive. You could see every second of your spot. You could see actually how many people viewed it and how many seconds of your spot was viewed. So there came the idea, after working with RTL, is that if we can combine those two words, and talked about convergence, is to install that in programmatic. I sold TV for quite some years, and every time they ask me is what will be our revenue within 2 years, what will be our margin in 2 years. Actually, in Belgium, a TV channel is working for 500 clients. They have generally a sales team of 30 people, and actually prices are going up for TV every year. They are limited with 12 minutes an hour. So if you do the mathematics on a scarce inventory of 12 minutes an hour of advertisement that is allowed in Europe, with discounts that are every year going up, I don't think that here TV channel, if there are broadcasters here, they can say that their discounts are going down every year. Actually, discounts are going up every year. Working on a scarce assets or inventory, while your model and your programs increasing at 5% each year in cost, also your people, at the end you see your margin reducing. Daytime is, or the peak time is full. So there the idea of programmatic is one for either smaller TV channels, broadcasters. It is really solution because they don't have ratings, they are not in the measurement system, so they have less than 1 GRP and an ad break, is to monetize that inventory. But for bigger TV channels, we saw them quite a lot in Belgium. They're not so few, so many. So we quite quick around the tour. They're all creating OTT content. They're all creating over the top, creating apps where you can see the linear signal through your tablet, but also record directly. And they're not monetizing that. All the ads that is in that OTT content is not monetized. You have something like 7,500 TV channels in Europe, and each year 500 are coming on top of that. And each year probably 200 will disappear. But since 1998, no broadcaster has a market share more than 8%. So it's all the broadcasters from before the digital age that still keep that percentage and market share. And that brought us to the idea to combine those two worlds. Now, the technical challenge, and I was very interested in the discussion here before, because we're talking about TV, about one type of asset or one type of product. But actually, Nigel explained that very well. Your signal is coming through different ways. And what we face now the most is actually every country is different. In Belgium, you don't have that much IPTV. It's more cable and satellite. Belgacom is the only one who is providing IPTV, and linear dynamic ad insertions is just very easy on IPTV. It's already done for 10 years in the US, more than 10 years. Black Arrow TV is doing that for Comcast. They're doing that on 30 million households based on the return path data aggregation, but none of them is selling it programmatically. And so the technical issues is more like the infrastructure. If you have, let's say, a broadcaster, he do have his playout. The playout is actually his playlist of the whole day, where all the ads are inserted, and where the distribution company is picking the signal of the playout and then putting it through his stream servers and IPTV or cable or whatever. Well, the technical problem is if you have a television who is broadcasted by cable, you cannot not put an asset, let's say an IMPEG or an FLV file on television set. It must be 69 anamorph I don't know for the UK, but in Europe or mainland, France, Netherlands, and Belgium is DMAT. It's a certain standard. Otherwise, your screen will jump in all sizes. So we really have to see in country by country as one, the distribution company, the legal rules. In Belgium, a distribution company cannot alter the signal, for example. You cannot put an ad before, in the middle, or after the signal of a broadcaster. Is not legal. In Netherlands, you can. So we see more broadcasters interested in doing dynamic ad insertions based upon programmatic marketing. In the Netherlands, it's more like distribution companies who are interested to, like B, but I think Channel 4 is also doing here in the UK ad insertions, is what I heard a couple of months ago. It depends if you're a channel or a broadcaster, but there are so many technical architectures that you will not be able, like Nigel said, to serve them all in every country.
So I'm sure there's possibly some broadcasters in the room who are looking at this and they sort of imagine belly fat ads showing up on X Factor. I mean, are we talking about RTB mainly, or would it be mainly sort of programmatic direct buys with some targeting?
Now we are, to be clear, we are in proof of concept. So for quarter 4, which is now, and quarter 1, we will have finished our proof of concept. For Belgium working, so like I said, one of the stakeholders is an IPTV distribution company, which makes it much more easier. But we want to have a proof of concept on all those phases of all those product lines or broadcasters or what they need to do. Well, I think the main message for broadcaster is, and like I said, I saw a lot of GRPs in my life, is that at a certain end, a broadcaster want more clients. And he can serve that many clients as his sales team can have. When I had, when my time at RTL, 50 new clients, so let's say an increase of 10% in your client portfolio, I had to hire 3 or 4 people, one buyer, one planner, 2 salespeople to manage those accounts. So I think for broadcasters there's really a way to monetize their OTT content, for smaller broadcasters to monetize everything, and the proof of concept is in real time. So keeping up the latency, make sure that you have your ads inserted. But like I said, the technology exists already for linear IPTV dynamic ad insertions. We just have to marry those 2 worlds, is yielding, the world of programmatic marketing, and a world of IPTV insertions.
Just on another, on the myth busting side, there's a belief I think we've inherited from what happened with display advertising in the early days of RTB and exchanges, that anything programmatic isn't capable of funding premium content. Just clarify that this is something we can use for mainstream TV.
Certainly, I believe that data will bring up the prices. We're told about measurement about TV. I'm sorry to say that, but I don't think that TV is very measurable. I worked for it. You know, if an advertiser, millions go to there, and actually it's bought on a discount and on maybe 10 profiles. Yeah, in some countries you can do some demographic targeting, but actually you're sold on something like I'm a man 1844 or 1854. I'm a woman responsible for purchases 18 and so on. So you have 15 profiles. And to give you an idea, in Belgium you have approximately 11 million Belgians, inhabitants. And you have actually 1,500 set-top boxes that are measuring the whole audience of television. So the winners to keeping that system are the big broadcasters that mainly have 30, 40, 50% of the market in ratings and in money in their hands to keep that system alive. But all the thematic channels, all smaller channels, sometimes not strong in their mainland or main country and also abroad, can certainly use of that. And I don't believe that there will be pressure on prices. This will not be the case. We see it now on video. We started on video for the end of October. That's already within 5-6 days. We hope to finish ad exchange and real-time bidding in connected TVs with some of our partners, and then we go back to linear. So yeah, I think many parties can have benefit of it, but everybody will see according his strategy to do it. Some see it as a direct attack to their sales team, and how will I be tell to my 30 salespeople that they don't go lunches anymore, they don't go to a meeting room and discuss how many discount this year and how many millions. And yeah, they need to change and more like yielding their inventory. And don't be fooled, television is already yielding his inventory. And what I was general manager for everything was commercial for RTL, 220 million euro revenue. But actually what the salespeople were doing, we undo it with yielding. So salespeople were getting out, it's crisis, the ad market had a difficult time since 2008, 10 and 11 was good, but then again, 12 was quite difficult. So your salespeople is putting on the pressure, and they go into a little room with 3 buyers, the trading director, and they're squeezing. They're telling you, look, we'll take all our money, but we need 60-70% discount. And this is actually what is happening. So you close a contract for 10 million euros, you give 70% of discount, and then afterwards we go into the yield, who is actually made for air companies, and then trying to block those advertisers in the breaks where we could have the most of the money. So they're already used to yield. They spending 10,000 euros in licensing every year, and I believe that actually programmatic marketing and real time and automated and everything what you want it can be actually a new technology for them to yield better their monetization of their screens.
Okay, we're running out of time, I'm afraid. But thanks a million, Erik, and for doing that at short notice. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
Okay. Thank you.